Hello there. Hi y'all. I am so excited. This is gonna be my first vlog on the channel so far. You've seen where all I've included has been me interviewing female filmmakers, which has been a blast, and there's plenty more of those coming out right around the same time I'll be releasing this. But yeah, I for a long time have been wanting to make some personal vlogs. I just was kind of shy and didn't know exactly what do I want to include. So I've been thinking about things that people ask me about a lot, and I kind of have to share a lot with people individually. Things that people are interested in about my life. And then recently AUP, which is everything we're going to talk about today in the video. I'm going to tell you all about my time at the American University of Paris and why I chose France and all those good things. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this because AUP recently reached out and said we're having an alumni event in Los Angeles, which is where I live, and we wanted alumni to come talk to upcoming students, kind of give them a feel for what to expect. And I thought, you know what, even better than just meeting people individually, because I get questions about this online. I get this all the time. So I thought this is a great thing to just talk about and put out there. I think I want to do a multi-part series on my time in Paris because a lot happened. 2 years is a long time. A lot can happen in 2 years. And today I think I just want to do kind of an introductory. I want to answer some Instagram questions that I got. Thanks to everyone who reached out with questions. But just kind of do an introductory about who I am, why I chose AUP, why I chose France, where I'm from. So yeah, let's get into it. So I am originally from Dothan, Alabama. It's a, like, I won't say small town, but it's kind of about a 60 to 70,000 person, you know, town, city in southeast Alabama. I had always wanted to kind of expand my horizons. I knew that I did not want to go to college in the state of Alabama. I just knew that wasn't for me, even from a very young teenager age. And that is the route, you know, when you live in Alabama, it's usually to go to a school there. I just knew that wasn't for me. And I won't go in this video very much into my choice to live in New York, which is what I did at about 17. I decided that I wanted to, you know, go to college in New York City. So I ended up doing that. I went to Marymount Manhattan College for 2 years. And even though I was really excited to be in New York, I love New York. Maybe I can make a video about that. But I knew the school wasn't the right fit for me. You know when you know. And I'd wanted to be a foreign exchange student in high school. This is how far back this goes for me. I'm 26. This has been going on for over a decade. And I'm an only child, and I asked my family, I said, you know, can I be a foreign exchange student? And they said, no, it's just you. We only get you for so long. No, you're gonna have to stay here. You can do that when you go to college. And I said, well, y'all know me. If you tell me that, I'm going to go. So it was my sophomore year at Marymount Manhattan, where I was studying communications, taking a lot of communications classes because I really loved that major, studying media and everything. And I went to, and this is an important, someone asked me about this on Instagram. I got a question about how do you, you know, pick where you want to go to school at if you want to study abroad. So beginning of my sophomore year, I found my study abroad kind of like guidance counselor at my college. I'm pretty sure that almost every college and university has someone who specializes in helping students, you know, figure out if you want to study abroad, what to do. Pretty sure. So if you're looking for that, find out who that person is at your school, and that's who you can communicate with. We had a really wonderful lady at the time while I was at Marymount, and yeah, she really helped me. An Instagram question that I got was, you know, how did you pick France? Why did you pick AUP? Which is a totally legitimate question. The reason I picked France is pretty generic, not anything specific. I did not speak French. I'd taken some French in high school, and foreign language has just never been my specialty. I was not born to be good at languages for whatever reason. And but I knew a little bit of French. I knew enough to get by. And I just grew up always fantasizing about France, watching Audrey Hepburn movies. Marion Cotillard is one of my favorite actresses. Just being completely and totally obsessed with Paris, the way so many people are, so many artists, so many women. It's just, in my opinion, the most beautiful city in the world. And I stand strong by that. So that's the reason I chose France. Nothing much more than that. And the reason I chose AUP is because I had to go to a college that you could speak English at, which is very important when you're looking into where you're going to study abroad. What languages do you speak or do you not speak? And I wasn't fluent, you know, in French. I had to go to a school where English was going to be the language we were going to be taught in. So that was really narrowed down a lot of the schools that I was going to be able to pick from. And yeah, it just wound up being AUP because I really liked their message of it's an international school. Something that I might go into a little bit more in other parts of this video, or maybe the next video. You know, when you're from a small town and you go to a school where you get to meet people truly and genuinely from all over the world. I know a lot of people say that. It's not true. You know, maybe there's cliques on their campus of people from different countries. No. When you are at AUP, the person to your left, the person to your right are from different countries. Like, it's just such a diverse atmosphere. And that was something that really intrigued me because I've always been so obsessed with learning about other people, understanding other cultures, diplomacy, all that fun stuff. So that's why I picked AUP. I also love that it was in the city center, which is important for me because you can run around and do a lot of things and you're close to everything. It was in a really safe neighborhood, which was nice. Obviously never having spent much time abroad before, you kind of, safety is an important thing, and I liked that it was in the city center. Sorry, I have a piece of paper with me because this is a lot of stuff to remember and I can't remember everything. Let's see. So yeah, I think another important thing that I want to talk about in this video, and I'll get into some of the fun stuff later, but just this is also to kind of help people who are in the application process. Make sure to know your deadlines. If you're even just kind of in the clouds, thinking about considering studying abroad, do some research on maybe the different schools that you're considering, even if it's 20 different schools, and just make a list and write down application deadlines, because that kind of stuff is really important. I mean, it was September when of my sophomore year, which, you know, I know people call it different things in America. Sophomore year is second year of college. But you got to get the ball rolling. If you're gonna go, you gotta be finding out when application deadlines are and making notes of that so that you know, so that you don't miss out, because this is something really important you don't want to miss out on. And I know that's kind of preachy, but that's just something that even I, you know, struggle with, and that's why I did it so early and so ahead of time. I was so hell-bent and determined to go, but I was like, I cannot miss the application deadline. I can't miss the boat, you know, because I knew I wanted to go. And so I applied, I think, to AUP probably around February, March of 2013. And found out about a month later that I'd be starting there September 2013. So it has been, this year will have been 6 years since I started at AUP, and I graduated in 2015. That's a whole other part of the video I'll get into when I met with my counselor at Marymount, about the study abroad counselor, about, you know, going to France. I was very kind of generic in my approach. I really just thought that it was going to be something, I'd go for 4 months, it'd be fun, adventure, sort of recharge my batteries, give me the boost that I needed, and that was that. I did not even, probably, maybe this makes me sound, you know, naive or whatever, I didn't even realize that there were colleges available overseas that you could go to and get your full degree. And this was actually kind of incorporates with a question that I got on Insta about why did I go to AUP versus just a program that was offered by like a US university. Well, I mean, it's kind of an easy reason for this one for me. My school didn't offer that. I went to Marymount's a very small school. I think it's around 2,000 people, at least at the time it was. It's definitely still a small liberal arts school. We didn't have a program. I'm sure places like NYU, I'm sure USC, Northwestern, those type of places, I'm sure they offer that. If you go to those schools, you're set. But no, you go to a small school, it's gonna be a lot of doing it on your own, and, you know, just starting fresh in a totally new environment. What was I even talking about? What was I talking about? I don't remember. Oh yeah. So the reason that it's so funny when I look back how I originally just intended to live in France for maybe like 4 months, the classic in and out study abroad story, which is perfectly fine if you want to do that. That kind of is the pattern. Some people do summer programs, you know, fall, spring. That's usually the dynamic. And when I met with the counselor, I said to her, I said, set me up for fall of 2013, be good to go. And she was like, I think you should go for a year. And I said, I don't really think that I'm interested in going there for a year. That was just not in my scope. And she said, Olivia, you have overtaken so many communications and media classes here at Marymount, because I was, like I said, obsessed with what I studied. And she said, you've overdone it. You have so many electives and free classes open. You should go to Paris for a year. And I was like, okay, honey. I was like, sure, whatever. I didn't reject the idea. I just, at that time in my life, knew so much less. I cannot emphasize how little I knew compared to what I know now. Which, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about going to college and all, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I just did not even fathom the idea of a year over, you know, oh, I'll just go quick. Oh boy, was she right. And so we set me up for the fall semester, the classes and everything I was going to take. And I'll kind of give you the generic overlook of everything now, and then I think I'm going to make another video maybe tomorrow getting into some more details and specifics. But basically what ended up happening is I moved there and never returned to my school in New York City. I had some things happen to me while I was in Paris. Fortunately, not happened to me specifically, but had some things happen around me that just made me realize while I was over there, life is pretty short, and you should do what, if you can, you should do what makes you happy. And I ended up going from just being sort of stubborn and being like, I'm only going to be here for 4 months, to living there for 2 years. And I'll get into all of that later. But it was the adventure of a lifetime. That's always the way I describe it when I go into interviews and all, and you know, people want to know, what was that like studying in France? Oh, you lived in France? Which is maybe another element I can get into in this video about people's reaction and people's assumptions, which usually are flattering, but people's assumptions of you when you've lived in Paris, studied in Paris. But I can get into all that. I think I'm going to do that in another video. I just wanted to sort of treat this one as a intro. You could sort of figure out who I am, why I chose to go there. I'll even include some pictures and stuff, and then I'm gonna make another video for you where I sort of talk about all the details, like things I learned, people I met, life lessons. We can talk all about French food, the French versus Americans, which is crazy and insane. But overall, I'll end with this. And it was an Instagram question that I got this morning. Someone asking me, was getting a degree from AUP worth it compared to US state schools? And the answer is absolutely yes, 100%. It was worth it. Life is short, and if you ever have the opportunity to do something like what I got to do, even if it's just a semester abroad, and I was by no means a cosmopolitan lady at the time that I started. You know, I was not a city slicking gal. I just had the ambition and the dream to do it. Was it worth it? Oh, hell yes, it was worth it. And I can get into that in another video, especially in regards to the confidence it gave me for the rest of my life that I'll carry with me, and also the edge it gives me when meeting with employers, as far as I know. Some interesting conversations I've had in job interviews and with previous employers that I've had. So yeah, but thank you so much for joining me on this video. Like I said, I'm going to include some more videos to get into other elements. I hope this helps you if you're thinking about studying abroad. Yeah, follow me along, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things that you need to know, and how much fun it is and why it is worth it. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, put on notifications, because I'm going to start making a lot more of these vlogs. We're going to do more than just filmmaker interviews. We're going to do some one-on-one talking time. But yeah, talk soon. Bye.